Testing, and we have liftoff here from Gamecock Stadium. Welcome aboard. Thank you for joining us here for another fantastic Saturday from the south side of the capital city of the Sunshine State. A fantastic matchup here for us today. It's Tallahassee against Pensacola. Of course, the football club coming over to our west, just about 3 hours, depending on how you drive and depending who you are with. But thank you for coming aboard however you may be joining us, whether it's on TLHsoccer.com, Tallahassee Soccer Club YouTube, or, of course, on terrestrial radio here in the Big Bend on 93.3 Real Talk Radio. Of course, we're about to get ready to rock and roll here. Of course, this is a divisional matchup. This is a highly contested MPSL matchup. A lot of things going on here, but most importantly, that a regular season play is this is an 8-5-0 cup game, which, of course, for those of you who don't know, is of the three teams here in the Panhandle, the 850 area code that will be competing in basically a double derby, a triple rivalry, a 6-game slate where teams play each other twice, home and away, and, of course, the winner will be awarded the 850 Cup. As you can see, the crown on the visitors there, indicating that PFC, of course, winning it last year. They garnered 4 points from TSC last year, a win here at Gamecock Stadium, and then, of course, a tie on the road out in Pensacola, our third match of this season last year. We're going to step aside. We have the national anthem on the way here from a local singer from the Tallahassee area, so we're going to give way here for the Natty. And there you go, an absolutely fantastic rendition here for the game of the week here, of course. Tallahassee going against PFC, Pensacola Football Club. Tallahassee's going to be in the new white and black jerseys here. They don't usually wear the white ones at home, but they had to break out the nice-looking unis here tonight. And, of course, the visitors are going to be in all blue. The Pelicans here from Pensacola. We'll be getting rocking and rolling here, and I want to remind you that the pre-game national anthem here was done by Sydney Sherry of the Young Actors Theater here locally in Tallahassee. So shout out to young Miss Sherry, of course, and the Young Actors Theater, of course. A fantastic job last week by Haley Cleary, and definitely cool to see the young talent here that we see not only on the soccer field, but, of course, in the fine arts as well. So we're getting ready to rock and roll here for a kickoff. TSC getting these starting lineups coming here for you. Of course, we'll see start from the outside. It's going to be Mateus Bittencourt, number 18, the McClay Marauder, 2021 Big Man Player of the Year. Of course, one of our new guys here from Wales, Jack Chambers, going to be bringing in the back. Number 15, Captain Johnny Fitzgerald, the Akron Zip coming in. He's going to captain the midfield. And, of course, a big weapon up top. Number 11, Josiah Cousin Cy Fontenot, as he's affectionately known here around the TSC program. Austin Lee also going to get the start. He'll be most likely in the midfield. Sans Raymond Pierre, he's going to be the big man in the back. Back in net is going to be Bosco Perry, a new man here this year we have for 2022. And, of course, we have Mike Zamore on that back line as well. He's going to be the left. Of course, you can't forget about the old wily veteran, number 14, Joey Peralta. He will be the main man, of course, going through here today. He holds the franchise record for the most minutes played here in TSC history, number 14, of course, Joey P. Now, of course, he's going to play like a defensive midfield role, and it'll be interesting to see what the offensive threat looks like. Of course, up top, you're going to have Cousin Sign, number 11, and then he's also going to be paired, I believe, with Charles Blankenship up top here. But it's great to have Johnny Fitzgerald back, the facilitator, the maestro of the midfield, and the captain here for TSC. He is a great piece of this ball club. He was an instrumental effort in their 3-3 tie out at Pensacola in match day 3, and we are off and away here from Gene Cox Stadium. Here as we have our early deep ball here for Pensacola. They will be an attack mindseted team. They are relentless. Like we said, in 2 games with them last year, they put 7 goals on TSC here. Of course, nobody finished the regular season hotter than they did last year. Down the stretch, they won 5 straight, and they scored 22 goals in that contest, over 4 per game. And here they go, shot on target here, in an early rip in the going. That's going to be Lynch as he rockets one on frame. And here, Bosco Perry, up to the task, was able to deflect it and keep it out of goal. It's going to set up an early corner kick here for PFC. Racinios will give the corner. It's going to be a right-footed in-swinger. Perry's got one man on the front post, run well, and dug out here for TSC to win the initial ball. And I love these new white uniforms, by the way. They look slick, and they pop off well against here of the turf here at Gene Cox Stadium. And another shot attempt here for PFC. And this is a wily club like we saw last year. Anything inside 30 yards, they will rip on goal, and they will just try to be relentless. And this is a team, the second highest scoring team in the league last year. Like we said, down the stretch, nobody put it in the net better the last 5 games of the season than PFC did. A towering ball is going to get to the back post. It looks to be last touch by the Pelicans. And so it is a corner kick. They're going to say it grazed off the head of Joey P. So the 3rd corner kick already here for Pensacola. To start things off, it's going to be Racinios once again here in the front quarter. Getting rocking and rolling here for Pensacola. It's going to be an in-swinger. Towering ball goes all the way to the backside of the 18. It's going to be trapped down and taken away. Cousin Cy with a nice little poke free here. Of course, the Division II man of UWF is Cousin Cy. And, of course, he's got a couple teammates and a couple guys he's familiar with here. He goes to college out in Pensacola, so he knows some of these boys. We'll look for Cy. He's got a goal in each of our first 2 games here for TSC, both the one home against Jacksonville and the one on the road against the Roots. And he's just an absolute dynamic playmaker. Anybody familiar with the program knows who Cousin Cy Fontenot is and what he brings to the table. So great to have him back here in the 2022 season. Pierre getting his first touch here of the game. He is a great center back, had a fantastic game in the opening match against Jacksonville. He unfortunately missed our game last week on the road versus the Roots, but great to have Sans Pierre back in the matchup here, as this one's last touched here by Pensacola off the foot of Lynch. And so Bennett Mitchell, who's playing right back, will get us rolling here. We saw Mitchell in the midfield in Jacksonville. Perhaps a more familiar positioning for him is that right back position. Of course, he suffered that injury against the Roots here last year, so great to see him back and rocking and rolling, and he put in a Warriors effort as he always does, a really gritty player. Nice win there in the midfield there for TSC. tracing back on that one. I believe that was Austin Lee with the poke free there, as Pensacola will get it to the back line, cycle it around. Cam Bimbala, number 6, the big left center back here for Pensacola. Dropped it all the way back. A little pseudo pressure from Johnny. Up at the top line, slip off the service. Bittencourt with the win out of the air. He's an aggressive player, fun to watch. Here's Fitzgerald looking to thread it through to Cousin Cy. Of course, that's a very dangerous combination that we saw last season. Fitzgerald, it will be the facilitator, and he will be the motor that gets this TSC team rolling. Oh, an outswinger is going to hit the crossbar. An absolute monster rip there by Isaac Machado. He's one of the danger men here we need to watch for PFC. As you can see, a nasty left foot that almost got through. He scored against us last year here in the 19th minute in a high-scoring, like we said, a 4-2 affair at that contest that PFC succeeded here at Gene Cox Stadium. And in the 19th minute, he equaled the game. It was 2-2, only 19 minutes in an absolute wild game out in Tallahassee last year, the last time Pensacola came to town. So this one's going to be out of play over the end line, or excuse me, a throw in from the side. It's going to be about 4 yards out from the spot of goal. PFC will back it up and look to throw it down into the corner. Cross on the way. Good defensive positioning over on the far side there. Tough to see the number of the jersey, but a good scramble and a good effort to get in front of that ball. I believe it was June, if I could see the uniform correctly. Of course, these tiny numbers here, a little hard to tell here. They don't snap as well here, the smaller numbers, but it is part of a beautiful uniform. Chambers with some big service over the top, looking for Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald will chest down the second ball. He gets mauled over the back and will win a free kick here. Joey P thinks about going quickly, but the head man in the middle says back this thing on up. If you see it, the officials wearing red tonight. TSC, of course, in the white and black. PFC all blue. The visitors from Pensacola. Chambers, one of the new additions to the squad here in 2022. He's had a couple great games at center back here. Exciting player, aggressive, also composed. He's a great man to have on that back line. Bennett Mitchell chiming in. There's Chambers with a big win. It'll go back to PFC, excuse me, in their defensive side of things here. Cousin Cy with a nice little takeaway. Johnny's going to win the second ball. He'll square it out to Zamora on the far side. On the fringe of the defending third, big switch from Zamora. It's going to get all the way through to Bittencourt here on the near side. And the assistant referee has his flag up, and they say offsides here on Bittencourt. But that is a weapon that you will see. Zamora on the left back. He's got a monster left foot. He will look to serve. Those cross-field passes are going to be dangerous. So look for Mateus on the outside. Look for Cousin Cy here on the outside as well. They will be running down those balls on the perimeter, and that's going to be a big asset. Something we saw a lot of last week. The Roots did a really good job with their big back line of winning those aerial balls. One of the reasons they were able to keep TSC out of the scoring tally until the second half when TSC was really throwing numbers forward. Ball one here by Zamora. It's going to be centered here for PFC. They've got a little odd-numbered break. Bennett Mitchell is going to try to trap it down here. Is once again Lynch, the protagonist here on the attack. And Bennett Mitchell with a strong right foot will blast it out of play and will go out for a PFC throw-in here on the near side. So like we said, or maybe we didn't say, PFC finishing second in the league last year outside of Jacksonville, who had a fantastic season. This is your next top dog here, Pensacola, who really came into their own down the stretch. And they are a very dangerous, high-scoring, high-octane, high-pressure team. So you cannot show any hesitation against these guys. They are relentless. Service coming over for the back once again, looking for Lynch, who's been a big target here for the offensive standpoint so far. This one's going to get dropped on back here to Bimbala for PFC. Cycled around to the big keep. It's going to be McMillan here this evening. Of course, he's wearing yellow, the goalkeeper's jersey for Pensacola. He's got some good size on him, does McMillan. Yet to be tested by TSC so far here in the 9th minute of action. As you can see on the scoreboard down in your bottom left, if you're with us here on the YouTube live feed, or the TLH Soccer Club, in service to Mateus all the way into the corner, and just a little too much mustard for the speedster. Of course, the former Maclay man, 2021 Big Bend Player of the Year is Mateus. Of course, a couple of Maclay Marauders. We've got Drew Daunt, who's back in town, also Maclay alum, and then we have active Maclay senior Ryan Daunt, his younger brother. Be told this is his last game that he will probably be seen on the 18, the active 18 roster, joining the military. And so he will be off training and taking care of business. So thank you for your service, young Mr. Daunt, in advance. And here's Lynch once again on the left side here for Pensacola. He's dribbling into the left side of the box, tries to cut back in against Mitchell. First ball won by TSC. Secondary ball is going to be just off target to the left and will go to the left of the near post to a sprawling Bosco Perry, the goalkeeper here for TSC, and it'll be out for a goal kick. No harm, no foul. But first time that we see here the second time we see the nice keeper uniforms. We're going pink tonight. They do also have a black keeper jersey that is usually partnered with the gold uniforms, but the board says we're going with the new jerseys. We need to show the people what we've been doing with these uniforms, in a fantastic, clean-looking uniform here for TSC as we get into the 10th minute of action. Still scoreless, but if you're scoring at home or want to get caught up to date on the first 10 minutes, PFC definitely been the more aggressive, provocative team here going forward, and they definitely have generated 2 to 3 good chances. Of course, already, I believe, 5 or 6 corners here for PFC. Really on the offensive attack well. Here's Kambambala. He's going to serve it up into the midfield. Morrissey here for Pensacola. Going to get it out wide here from Machado. Of course, we talked about Machado being one of the danger men here, of course, scoring against us in Tallahassee last time out. Of course, somebody we've yet to see here, of course, is Dotson, number 17. He also played a big role in their success here. A glaring absence for Pensacola. Cousinside putting some pressure here on the defense. Kambambala able to turn and get away from it initially, but he's going to be hounded here by Cousinside until he squares it off. But we're saying a glaring absence here for Pensacola. If you followed the team last year, is Jabari Hilton, their All-Region South team member here for the MPSL. He, of course, was on the national team along with Joey P. and a couple of the bigger players here from Jacksonville. But he was just a scoring beast for them. We've been told no Hilton on the roster here this season, and so that's a relief for the TSC backline. And I'm sure a lot of the rest of the Gulf Coast Conference, whoever may be waiting in the wings here for PFC, because this is their opening match of the 2022 season. Of course, TSC already 2 in the bag, 1 point from the 2 matches. TSC averaging 0.5 points per game. I think when you looked at the table today, they were either 4th or 5th to start the day. Of course, large part to the teams that have only played once losing, and then, of course, Pensacola having no games in pocket. TSC, a good homestand here. This is the second of their 5 home games to start the season. In the first 6 weeks, they have 5 home games. It is an extremely front-loaded schedule, so this is a game for TSC. Realistically, they need 3 points, the full 3 from this game, if you expect to be a playoff team and hit that 17 to 20 points you're expected to hit as a playoff team here in this league, which are the early kind of predictions and indicators here. Looking for an aerial ball here to Cy. Joey P. held off in the midfield, and this one's going to be comeback center. That's Machado, number 18. Kambambala will be dropped off to him. Service through, tried to flick on. Chambers is there, and he's going to dump it over the top, looking for Cousin Cy. He's a dangerous man, tries to go back to goal and get some good positioning here. Johnny coming in on some reinforcements. Ball gets spilled on the fringe of the attacking third here in the 13th minute. A good build-up here for TSC, but no payoff. The long ball from Chambers would start it, and Cousin Cy, of course, a big, speedy target. Of course, trying to hold off defenders and get after it here this season. He's a big-time weapon for TSC. Bittencourt with a nice win here on the outside of the right. Cousin Side looking to serve him. Kambambala able to beat him to the ball, and he'll let that roll all the way down to the goal line here as this one goes out of play in the 14th minute of action here. From the back, McMillan on the ground will start things off for Pensacola, and I believe it's Lightbourne, the big back there. No, that's my mistake. Lightbourne is in the midfield here, number 10. Service over the top, looking for Machado. Mitchell able to win the head ball here and does well to save it for a throw-in over here on the near side. Fantastic job here for him in order to keep it and make sure it wasn't a corner kick. So it'll be a throw-in here for PFC. They're deep in the attacking third. They're about 6 yards off the goal line here. Throw in coming centrally. Joey P with a right-footed effort cleared out by Bennett Mitchell. Good spell defensively. PFC back in the second wave. Player goes down in the box. Referee says play on. Of course, not buying that one here is Ali, able to get through, and he goes down in the box. Azarias Ali, but the referee says nothing doing here in the 15th minute. Play on, boys. That's one thing that's burned TSC a couple times. I believe a penalty kick attempt from their opponent in both games so far this season. Not very common. Zamora with an absolute scorcher here from the back line. He does well to win the second ball, but a meaty contest and foul called here as Owusu is going to be dropped here for PFC, and so they will win the free kick. And that's Lightbourne. We mistakenly identified him as the center back, but he's fallen into the midfield here. I've been told they call him Mikey. Mikey Lightbourne, he's going to be one of the keys to this PFC machine. As we have a throw-in coming on the way here near side, there's going to be Lynch, who's having a big day so far on this left side. Important ball, won well on the initial header. Put it back on his left foot. Perry in fantastic position there. Nothing doing there for PFC, but a nice little show of class to start things off here. Shot attempt, but Perry up to the task. Of course, his second start here for TSC. Bosco Perry. This one's going to be won here by Mitchell. Squares it off here to Fitzgerald on the fringe of the attacking third for TSC. See if they can hold possession a little bit. This one's going to be chipped through, looking for Cousin Sai. A dangerous ball. It's going to bounce around. McMillan, ball's on the ground. He comes off of his line. Kambambala runs into McMillan. A little friendly fire there for PFC. And he'll slowly get up, looking for Cousin Sai. But a nice little ball tried to chip over the top. That's Ryan Daunt over on the left. Here starting, of course, the McClay Senior 2022 Big Bend Player of the Year here, put out by the local newspaper, the Tallahassee Democrat. Of course, announced a couple months ago. Big season for him. Second straight McClay Marauder to win the Big Bend Player of the Year. Of course, the man on the other side of the midfield, Mateus, was the 2021 Big Bend Player of the Year. So a nice pedigree. Of course, local soccer coaching legend, Coach Warner, the head man over at McClay, does a fantastic job year in and year out here on the high school level. And he's always putting a couple good players here from McClay onto this TSC squad. Peralta gets a secondary clearance from Mitchell. He'll dump it out of play. About 20 yards off of the goal line here. It's going to be a PFC throw-in. To get it started, it's going to be Morrissey. Has a check two. Defensive position, service coming here. Chambers try to get on top of it. Secondary clearance. Oh, a wild foot catches the chest of a TSC player on the far side. And it is a free kick. And it looks like Mateus was the one that got chopped down. As he's checking for bruises, as a right foot came dangerously across his body, but right here, this is a very, very dangerous free kick opportunity here for PFC in the 18th minute. This is going to be 23 yards from goal on the left side. And this is right about the distance. Inside 25 for a right-footed free kick taker. This is your distance. And Azarias Ali, no hesitation to get on top of it. He's a right-footer. He's with Machado, who I believe is left. So watch out for a lead number 7, and then Machado is number 18. He's on the other side of the ball. You could go either way. Bosco says, give me 4 on the wall. It's Peralta, Mateus, Zamora, and Chambers here on the wall for TSC. That is here from near side to far side. Bosco looking for some late adjustments, doesn't get it. Faked it, Ali! And that's just a class finish here for Pensacola. Ali gets it over top of the wall, dips it down just inside the near post. Nothing Perry could do about that one, as that one is back into the net. And so here in the 19th minute of action, the visitors strike first. Ali off of the free click, able to bury it here for Pensacola. As you hear some cheers and jeers from the Pelican Army, who I've been told has brought a couple members out here. I believe they're to my right, down here from the press box. So good soccer community here in the Gulf Coast Conference. Of course, our supporters group, the Old Field Battalion, hosted them in a nice little tailgate here. So all friends before we get the 90 minutes going here. But the fact remain is TSC trailing here 1-0 at home in a game that they need some points. So a big-time match out here this evening, as this one's cleared out off Zamora's head, safely out of play. On the fringe of the attacking third are PFC here, after incurring the deficit here in the 19th minute. And so in both home games here historically in the MPSL, Pensacola has scored in the 19th minute both times. Like we talked about, Machado did it last year. He made the score line 2-2 at that point. A lot less goals to speak of so far. Ali, the lone man, here in the 19th, 1-0 to Pensacola. So free kick here over on the far side from the 32. It's going to be Lightborn over top of it. The red cleats really popping off the turf. Looking for some service here, about 40 yards from goal. Gets it to about 15 yards out. Initial ball won by Sans Pierre. Cousin Sai coming back to it. Service out to the wings. Tried to hit the youngster, Ryan Daunt, and does. He's on it. Oh, a little okey doke on the far side from the McClay Marauder, and it's going to be spilled out of play. But TSC with a little momentum. Zamora, a little 1-2 here with Johnny. Service. It's a worm burner. Peralta's right foot almost gets it. Hits the side netting. But a dangerous ball. Peralta and Cousin Sai both in the area here for TSC in a fantastic opportunity. And that's your maestro of the midfield. They call him the Tallahassee Messi for a reason. Some beautiful service from Johnny Fitzgerald, and that's the first real chance here for TSC so far in the 22nd minute. But like the aggressiveness, TSC needing a quick response. TSC does not have a very good track record in games that they trail and they give up the first goal. Only 4 total points in, I believe, 13 contests in giving the first goal allowed first to the visitors here. And it is a fact that they want to try to keep away from. But once again, the burden has been put on them. The only victory that they've ever pulled was AFC Mobile last year. They were able to get the victory after going down early. The only ever NPSL game that they have won and getting the full 3 points after allowing the first goal. So we talked about the high-octane PFC and how we expected them to score some goals. They did so early off the free kick by Ali. Looking to get another one here. Lynch is going to be played near side, and this one's looked to be out of play, and they will call it back. Bennett Mitchell wants to get things going ASAP. Throw in here to Fitzgerald on the turn. He'll drop it off to Peralta. Of course, Peralta, the captain for the first 2 games, but he gave the armband back to Johnny as the Akron man returns here for match day 3. Aerial ball looking for Cousin Sai. Does link up on him, but unfortunately nothing to come of it here for TSC except for a PFC goal kick as we cascade here into the 23rd minute of action here from Gene Cox Stadium. Confusion from the referee. Signaled goal kick, signaled a throw-in, and it looks like Mateus, after they signaled throw-in, he's going to waste no time. He says, give me that rock. We're going to go over to the corner kick. So the lefty It's not a throw-in. It is a corner kick, so they've made up their mind here in the 24th minute. And so this is a big chance. First corner here for TSC. Mateus, the lefty, a worm burner's going to get low. Almost hits off a PFC player and goes in, but it's just wide of the net. That was almost an OG own goal, but it'll result in another corner. So Mateus Bittencourt going to get another crack at it. The former McClay man here is going to be a little higher and a tough ball to handle. That was, I believe, Ryan Daunt over on the far side. Here it'll be a throw-in for TSC. And it looks like Bennett Mitchell's going to come up here. Of course, Bennett Mitchell's kind of the throw-in specialist, so if there is going to be a long throw, he's the man to take it. Of course, you think about other guys with some throwing ability is David Monroe, who I've been told back practicing with the team, coming back from FAU. Little takeaway, Johnny, a little heavy-footed effort on the goal scorer, Ali. And the Akron man, that's kind of a professional foul, too. I think you take that one, especially without him getting a card. He will get warned, though. So Johnny's the dangerous one. But with the break on the go-ahead for Pensacola, really a foul that you don't mind giving up here if you're TSC. Now the defense is back in positioning. You see the back eight all good to go. So I think you can live with that. Short service here from Kambambala for PFC, and Johnny with another physical challenge. And he's going to be in the danger zone here. The referee's going to give another talking to here, and I think our captain is on very thin ice. Has not gone in the book here, but the referee, I think, wants to settle things here a little bit. The intensity picking up. And that's what you want here. You want a fighting ball club, a gritty bunch. And those are two of the grinders up in the front line. You talk about gritty players. Johnny and Mateus will be at the top of the list here for TSC if you're making the rankings there. Fitzgerald in trying to get this one again. A nice flop by Lightbourne. That one was not a foul, but Johnny, that's going to be an accumulation yellow. So unfortunate that our captain's going to get in the book, but with those three challenges, it's just a matter of time before those add up, and he gets in the book. So yellow for Johnny here. But that particular one was soft, and Lightbourne, Mikey, as they call him, did a good job selling that one. It'll be a free kick here for PFC in the midfield third here as they serve it over the top, looking for Lynch, about the 18-yard line, the corner of the 18 here near side. So the referee's calling this one tight as this one's dropped back and try to get across field pass there. One well here by Daunt. It's going to be landed by Johnny. Tries to serve it over the top. Beautiful outside of the right foot, looking for Cousin Cy. A low shoulder ball here for PFC will be brought down and spilled out of play. Daunt, oh, beautiful touchback service into the box. He's looking for Mateus on the far side, but it'll be spilled up in the air by PFC, and McMillan underneath of it here for the visitors. So as we get into the 27th minute of action here, the visitors with the advantage. Of course, they led most of the game last year when they were here. Of course, we talked about that 4-2 victory. Of course, they led for the final they led for the final 65 minutes of that contest, including stoppage time. Good little turn there from Austin Lee. I really like his technical skill. He adds a nice little flair of skill here to TSC in the midfield. I believe he's got 3 starts, started all 3 matches, if I'm correct here, for the Battle Lions. Drop back to Perry. Of course, our 2 new center backs both getting some touches here, Chambers and Sands-Pierre. Service on out to the wing. Daunt looking for Cousin Cy. Tries to knife it through here. Up to the task is Weber, who spills it out of play here for PFC. Throw-in's going to be taken relatively quickly. Lee able to spill it back out to Zamora. Service from the lefty. It's going to be a nice one with some pace. Top of the 18. Secondary ball, one back by TSC. Tried to knife it through to Cousin Cy. Lee takes a tumble to the turf. But PFC wants to think counterattack. Pushing numbers forward. It's a little 2-on-3 right now. Bennett Mitchell giving chase to Lynch. Ball gets through. Little shoulder-to-shoulder contact. And they do not call this one. Referee says play on here in minute 29. Opening goal, Ali, 19th minute for PFC. Has TSC in the hole here early. Sans Pierre, nice little spell. How about the big center back getting all the way up by midfield? He's chopped down, and Sai's going to pick up the pieces. Over to Daunt. This is Ryan Daunt. Of course, both of the Daunt brothers on the active 18 here. Of course, Ryan had a big effort and he got the hockey assist, if you remember, back in match day 1 to get that, what was a game-leading goal, 2-1, back against Jacksonville on week 1. Of course, they would tie late with a penalty kick. And as Sans Pierre is down, and the big center back over on the sideline right around midfield, writhing in pain as he was chopped down. And that is very similar, as I'm having kind of PTSD from when Bennett Mitchell, our defenseman, was chopped down against the Roots last year at home. Almost the identical spot right around midfield over on the left side of the field. So Robins-Pierre is up walking around. So hopefully it's just a stinger and he'll be okay. Of course, definitely was missed last week when he could not make the road trip out to Panama City versus the Roots. Former goalkeeper, I've been told. Playing center back. Goes with the team need. He's a fun player. Did well in his first match. PFC on the counterattack right here as they get into the attacking half. Right around midfield, a nice little piece of skill coming back here. Zigging and zagging through TSC, but the second wave, you have 21 other men on the pitch, and eventually if you dribble around long enough, you will run into one of them. As Mateus being hounded here in the midfield. Handsy contest, looking for some love, but referee says play on. Mitchell looking to give the throw in here. Check 2, go down the line. Looking for Cousin Sai here. This one's going to be shouldered out of play. Another TSC throw. Mateus wants to take it quick. Tries to find Cousin Sai. Traps it with his right foot. Flicks it over the top. He's looking for Fitzgerald on the back post. It bounces through the box. He's on top of it. Has some service wide to Zamora if he wants it. Tries to break down here. Lightborn. A little takeout. The leg sweep. Oh, no. It looked like a Karate Kid move by Lightborn. He swept the leg. Fitzgerald goes down. Fitzgerald grabs the ball on his way down, and so they call handball on Fitzgerald for grabbing the soccer ball, and it will be a PFC free kick about 20 yards from goal on the corner of the 18. Ooh. No love for the captain on his first match back here for TFC. And so to be McMillan out of the back. We'll serve it here near side to Machado. Referee says play on. Chambers with a nice win out of the back. And another PFC player on the turf. And another foul called here in the 32nd minute. So a lot of Pensacola bodies hitting the turf and a lot of whistles with the free kick towards Pensacola. Those are what the stats tell me. No opinion implemented there. As we play on here in minute 32, PFC with the 1-0 advantage. Lightborn is going to be a service out to the wing here. Hickok with the touch there. This could be taken away. TSC, a little spell of possession. Another one called back. And it looks like they're going to get the foul on the youngster, Ryan Daunt. Of course, big part of that U19 team here for TSC. Their first full year, of course, completed their second spring season. Back-to-back championship game appearances. But a good New Orleans Jesters U19 team upended them in the championship game here at Jinkock Stadium 2 weeks ago. I believe it was a 4-2 defeat, if I recall correctly. Jesters definitely with some class building up in their academy. As this one goes by club president there, Chris Pele. They're sporting one of those nice goalkeeper jerseys. So PFC on the attack here. Machado creeping forward, goes about 8 yards forward. Referee watches him do that throw-in position. Stanky leg down the sideline. Here, second ball won by TSC, and it'll be dumped out of play here by Pensacola. Look, targeting Cousin Cy here on the sideline, tried to turn to the interior, looking for Fitzgerald, and the through ball is going to be captured here by Weber of PFC. And go back to it here. Another foul on TSC, and another PFC free kick. 34th minute of action going on here from Gene Cox Stadium. A fantastic night here in Tallahassee. Weather couldn't be any more gorgeous. A lot of the times this time of year, once you get into mid to late May, start to get scorchers here, but with a 7 p.m. Eastern kickoff, fantastic weather going here in Tallahassee. It has been an absolute thrill weather-wise in this ballgame. Threats of rain, we were told earlier, but holding off. Beautiful little piece of class here for Fitzgerald. Service to the youngster. He's got Daunt down at the goal line. Left-footed service, can't get around it. And this one will sky over the top, but a good little build-up for TSC. Probably one of their more threatening advances here. Obviously nothing on target to show for it there, but some great action here, and that's the build-up you want, right? You want to start with Fitzgerald coming up through the midfield. You want him to hit those wings, Mateus and Daunt, who are some of your aggressors offensively. Speak of the captain, back on the attack is Fitzgerald. Cousin Cy, he's going to whip around, throws one on target. Gets checked down to the turf. McMillan on top of that one here in the 35th minute, but I believe that is the first TSC attempt on target, unofficially. So, of course, have to check the stat book there, but I believe that to be the case of what PFC has mainly been on the attack and limited the TSC opportunities. Something that was not really the case in the 2 games last season. TSC putting 5 goals together there, and that's a veteran foul there from Joey P. And the crowd doesn't like it. You've got one of the highest attending crowds here in the Gulf Coast Conference, and they're making their voice held here as a fantastic turnout. 900 plus came out to see the game against Jacksonville. We're not quite to that 900 mark, but some pretty good numbers. We're definitely north of 500-600 here from Gene Cox Stadium. A little quick kick coming here for PFC, and the local jeer is starting to pick up a little bit. Here's some frustration from the fans for TSC here with all these calls so far in the first half. 36 minutes in the books. We've got about 10 to go here. We will get a couple of minutes stoppage time, of course, with the injury from Sans Robbins-Pierre. And then, of course, the goal. So, you know, anticipating a nasty one here from Bennett Mitchell. That'll get the crowd pumped up. Look at the through ball. Can Fontenot get on the end of it? A little too strong, but B. Mitch with a nice little ankle breaker here on the near sideline. Reminds me of a nice Florida May day breaking out the slip and slide. Bennett Mitchell putting one of the Pelicans on the skates. Long throw over the top here. Chambers. And it looks like referees reach into their pocket, and everybody, it's like the Christmas holiday here for TSC. Everybody's getting a card. No return addresses on these. This is a one-way street. Chambers in the book, as well as Fitzgerald now here for the Battle Lions. Of course, this is a fortuitous position here for Pensacola once again. They had a free kick over on the side from about 40 yards out. This one all the way on the end. Mateus throws the ball away as he advanced too far. He was about 7 yards farther forward than he should have been. So Mateus has made himself the 4th referee. We told you he was a grindy, gritty player. I love it. Make him go the full distance. We got your back, Mateus. So this one would be about 37 yards out from goal. Service. Lightborn is going to try to rip it from 35. And Mikey skies it over. Just twist high and right at that right corner. But that wasn't very far off from 35. We told you once Pensacola gets inside 40, they're going to rip. They did it all last year. So this is not a surprise. They are a team with the hand on the pedal, man. They want to go as fast as possible. Foot on the pedal, I guess, would be the more apt soccer analogy. Been doing too much football and basketball lately. Foot on the pedal here for PFC. 39th minute of action, 6 and change. Of course, will get us to halftime. Like we said, we'll probably have about 3 to 4 minutes. We've had so many bookings for TSC, I wouldn't be surprised to see 5 or 6. But usually referee staff pretty conservative with added time, especially in the first half. So probably looking around 3. Mateus, nice little drop ball to Joey P. Of course, leads all players ever. Holds the franchise record for minutes played. He's been there since day one. Day one, Joey P. That's Johnny again. And that's going to get another talking to. So Johnny, who's already sitting on yellow, and they're going to call this one back because the head referee's not done talking to Jay Fitz here, right on the fringe of the attacking third. And this is troubled waters. An aggressive, your best player, your facilitator, your captain, sitting on yellow, and a serious talking to. The next one could be a very serious infraction because a double yellow means sayonara, not only for Fitzgerald, but to the 11th man. TSC would have to go down to 10. Ironically enough, they did have a red card in the last time they played Pensacola here at Gene Cox Stadium. So this would not be an anomaly. It would actually be the majority. Would be 2 of 3 contests, but of course not rooting for our captain to get a red card for clarification here, as this is a hometown local broadcast that is pro TSC, as it is produced, operated, and organized by TSC personnel. Of course, Chambers coming out of the back. Very nice little touch. 41st minute of action here. The visitors with the advantage, 1-0. Ali in the 19th minute off a nasty free kick. Rabbins Pierre going to get it over the top. A nice little curling ball to the interior. Tried to find Cousin Cy. Now to the back serves Weber on the counterattack. A nice little cutback here from PFC. There's a little bit of skill on the outside of that midfield. Hasn't gotten a lot of touches. Has a Wusu, but he has fantastic touch. Really impressed by his play so far for PFC. Another free kick here for the visitors. Be going forward, looking for some big-time production. I've been told Owusu plays some D2 soccer. I wonder if Cy's ever gone up against him. Here, of course, Cy playing out at UWF. A lot of these guys local from the Pensacola area, South Georgia. They play their soccer. Southern Florida, heavy contest coming in for PFC on the far side. They say play on. Daunt thought it was or tried to take the quick free kick. But it looks like they're going to pull this one back and make them get organized. So Samore's going to take it short, as we have 2 balls on the field, so they want to make sure we get everything organized and taken care of here. So they'll drop it off Conley to Rabbins Pierre. 42nd minute, looking to go over the top here to Mateus. And it will be back to McMillan. Cousin Cy will do the fake chase, if you will, just to make McMillan pick it up. Otherwise, he could stand there seemingly forever if he elected to do. If nobody comes and challenges. But once he picks it up with his hands, he's got the running clock, of course. Headed over the top, looking for Fitzgerald. This one's going to be spilled back. Good win over on the far side by Daunt. Secondary ball coming through. Lee gets a foot to it. It'll be out for a PFC throw. Wusu will dump it back to Hickok, and he will throw in. He's the right back here for PFC today. Tried to head through the midfield, cutting over the top, looking for Lynch. Zamore, good win. He had a 2-on-1 situation. Had to win that one. Wusu going to be back on the secondary ball here for PFC. They're now on the fringe of the attacking third. Squared off to here to Morrissey. Peralta guards him, spilled out. Odd numbers break here. Owusu on the perimeter. Zamore guards him. Goes down easily. Referee says play on. A counterattack opportunity here. Cy coming back towards it. slip of the play in the middle of the turf, and now PFC with the counter of the counterattack. Overlapping run for Owusu. They don't send it, and the late ball will come through in a free kick. 25, 26 yards from goal for PFC. Once again, another dangerous position here for Pensacola, who's proven they can make them pay on the free kicks. Like we said, Ali in the 19th minute netted one. They've had a couple dangerous others from both sides of the field. Really giving TSC fits here in the early going. Of course, I believe we're seeing the live stats put on by Zach here. Of course, coach of the McClay girls team, Coach Zach, Big Z, giving the live stats here. 15th foul called here on TSC. Contrarily 4 for PFC is our unofficial book here. So those are the numbers. Take the rest of the interpretation as you will. Screamer's going to get to the near post. It bounces off of Perry. Rabbins Pierre does a good job to clean this one, spill it out wide. Takes a lot of high bounces. Daunt saves it. Back to Johnny. He'll just try to get it out of the danger zone. It's fielded, ripped from about 33 yards out. We talked about it. Pensacola lively bunch coming out of the back. I believe that left-footed attempt was Machado, who I think is playing left back today here for PFC. As we get into the 45th minute, as it's the 9th shot overall here for Pensacola. Of course, that one not, of course, on target. This one's going to be spilled out. That's into the tunnel here in the near side. Quick throw in, looking for Sai. Tries to control it around the defender. Gets the first one. He does beat Kambambala. And it looks like the second defender on the scene, Machado, there to clean it up. So we'll be out for a TSC corner. Their third corner of the game. All have been here on the left-hand side. All will be taken by Bittencourt. He is left-footed, so this will be an in-swinger. You got Sai and Chambers dead center trying to pick the keeper here. Screamer's going to get back post. Secondary ball try to be chased down by Johnny. He's able to keep it in play. Drop it back. You got to get everybody back on side before you serve. Everybody is ball over the top. McMillan, secondary ball, shot. Oh, off of TSC. And this one will spill out of play as we get into stoppage time. Unofficially, like we said, we'll probably be looking at least 3 minutes with the goal, with the injury, with the 19 total fouls called here. PFC in no rush. Throw in here, spilled out of play by Joey P. into the TSC bench, just to the right-hand side of assistant coach Manuel Rico. And it looks like Mateus is going to get a booking here as he was throwing it back to the player for PFC. And a little bit of gutsy play going on here. A little bit of extracurriculars. Another booking for TSC. Bittencourt, another one of those aggressive players, into the book. The fourth yellow card here on TSC. PFC, no cards to their name. 15 fouls and 4 yellow cards to speak of here for the Battle Lions in the first half. They are about 2 minutes deep into stoppage time. No official word from the referee of how many we will get, but adjusting the earpiece here, we assume probably not more than 4 minutes of stoppage time. This one's going to be dumped back to Chambers. He'll look to cycle around to Mitchell. Fitzgerald checking to the ball. Bennett Mitchell dump it back on the TSC defending side of the field. Service from Chambers. He's going to go to the back. It's going to be chested down here by Fontenot. And trying to swerve through the play of pace here is Owusu, but Bennett Mitchell back on the counterattack. Lefty rips it! Mitchell just over the crossbar. A great attempt there by Bennett Mitchell coming off of the back line. Saw a need, decided to go for it. And 4 minutes deep into stoppage time, Bennett Mitchell gets his first shot on the area of the goal. 5th shot total here for TSC. Only 2 non-Cy Fontenot attempts on goal here for TSC with a total of 5 shots. Big kick over the top here from McMillan. Gets into the defending third here for TSC. Lee will win the initial one. Second one won by Lightbourne for PFC. Joey P will win the third one. And just as it goes over the top, that is going to be halftime. So 4 minutes of stoppage time, what we had here. And we will go to the halftime, of course, knotted up at a 1-0 scoreline. So it is 1-0 in favor of the visitors. So we're going to jump out here for a quick commercial break here on TSC Live on TLHsoccer.com, live on YouTube, and of course on local radio here in the Tallahassee area. Our new radio partners here this season, 93.3 Real Talk Radio. Come right on back after the break.
Hey folks, Johnny Mays here to tell you more about Marketable Sports. What a great app. It's more than just an app though. It is creating content. Check out our stuff on YouTube. We're also putting stuff out on Twitter. We're following what's happening in high school and college sports. We're going to teach you about recruiting and name, image, and likeness. We're going to have all sorts of great shows on the platform, Varsity Sports Network, also the Panhandle channel. Check us out, the Marketable Sports, great app. Check us out.
From getting back in the game to getting back to exploring all this life has to offer, our dedicated team is here for you every step of the way. With a patient-centered approach and unparalleled orthopedic and sports medicine care, our team of 70-plus physicians and providers are here to help you live a healthy and active lifestyle. With over 225,000 patient visits a year and servicing North Florida and South Georgia, you can trust TOC for all of your orthopedic needs.
Hey folks, Johnny Mays here to tell you more about Marketable Sports. What a great app. It's more than just an app though. It is creating content. Check out our stuff on YouTube. We're also putting stuff out on Twitter. We're following what's happening in high school and college sports. We're going to teach you about recruiting and name, image, and likeness. We're going to have all sorts of great shows on the platform, Varsity Sports Network, also the Panhandle channel. Check us out, the Marketable Sports, great app. Check us out.
From getting back in the game to getting back to exploring all this life has to offer, our dedicated team is here for you every step of the way. With a patient-centered approach and unparalleled orthopedic and sports medicine care, our team of 70-plus physicians and providers are here to help you live a healthy and active lifestyle. With over 225,000 patient visits a year and servicing North Florida and South Georgia, you can trust TOC for all of your orthopedic needs. From getting back in the game to getting back to exploring all this life has to offer, our dedicated team is here for you every step of the way. With a patient-centered approach and unparalleled orthopedic and sports medicine care, our team of 70-plus physicians and providers are here to help you live a healthy and active lifestyle. With over 225,000 patient visits a year and servicing North Florida and South Georgia, you can trust TOC for all of your orthopedic needs.
Hey folks, Johnny Mays here to tell you more about Marketable Sports. What a great app. It's more than just an app though. It is creating content. Check out our stuff on YouTube. We're also putting stuff out on Twitter. We're following what's happening in high school and college sports. We're going to teach you about recruiting and name, image, and likeness. We're going to have all sorts of great shows on the platform, Varsity Sports Network, also the Panhandle channel. Check us out, the Marketable Sports. Great app. Check us out.
From getting back in the game to getting back to exploring all this life has to offer, our dedicated team is here for you every step of the way. With a patient-centered approach and unparalleled orthopedic and sports medicine care, our team of 70-plus physicians and providers are here to help you live a healthy and active lifestyle. With over 225,000 patient visits a year and servicing North Florida and South Georgia, you can trust TOC for all of your orthopedic needs. Getting back in the game to getting back to exploring all this life has to offer, our dedicated team is here for you every step of the way. With a patient-centered approach and unparalleled orthopedic and sports medicine care, our team of 70-plus physicians and providers are here to help you live a healthy and active lifestyle. With over 225,000 patient visits a year and servicing North Florida and South Georgia, you can trust TOC for all of your orthopedic needs.
Hey folks, Johnny Mays here to tell you more about Marketable Sports. What a great app. It's more than just an app though. It is creating content. Check out our stuff on YouTube. We're also putting stuff out on Twitter. We're following what's happening in high school and college sports. We're going to teach you about recruiting and name, image, and likeness. We're going to have all sorts of great shows on the platform Varsity Sports Network, also at Panhandle Channel. Check us out, the Marketable Sports, great app. Check us out.
From getting back in the game to getting back to exploring all this life has to offer, our dedicated team is here for you every step of the way. With a patient-centered approach and unparalleled orthopedic and sports medicine care, our team of 70-plus physicians and providers are here to help you live a healthy and active lifestyle. With over 225,000 patient visits a year and servicing North Florida and South Georgia, you can trust TOC for all of your orthopedic needs.
And we're back here from Gamecock Stadium, a little Tally SC live, just like we see on the soccer field from Pensacola. I'm joined by a couple cohorts, some friends, I'm proud to say, coming in here from the Pensacola area. Johnny Mays, welcome aboard here. Just getting in, obviously big. We've got ties elsewhere throughout the broadcasting community, but you're catching some soccer here tonight, man. Your Pensacola boys looking pretty good here.
Catching a little soccer. We just rolled into town. Sorry we're a little late. We missed the first goal. But you were explaining it to me. It sounded like Pensacola earned a free kick, and then they took, I don't know, you said, who was it?
Ali, man.
Ali, and wrapped it around. Describe that a little bit.
Nasty, man. Yeah, so they had it on the left side. For those of you who didn't catch it, here, if you weren't watching on TLHsoccerclub.com, or, of course, on the Tallahassee Soccer Club YouTube Live, or listening locally here on terrestrial radio 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Johnny, of course, on the left side, right footer, up over the wall, dip down just inside the near post, just clinical finish here from big number 7 in the 19th minute. And, Johnny, we were talking about it. 19 is like a golden number for Pensacola here at Gamecock Stadium. Last year, Machado, the left back, he buried one in the 19th minute, tied that game 2-2 at the time, which was a wild 6-goal affair. Another game that Pensacola won here 4-2 last season. So hopefully not trying to duplicate those results. But Pensacola definitely the lead provocateur here, Johnny, as you can see some first half stats from the live stats going here. You see the 9 shots on goal and a lot of offensive opportunities here for PFC. They're really generating a lot of chances here. And what we anticipated coming through here was a fierce offensive attack. PFC doing just what they did last year, Johnny. They are on the foot. So first match, they're looking pretty good. Second in the table last year. A young team. These are probably 2 of the younger teams in the league. We were talking pregame, Johnny. You think PFC, without their boy Hilton up top, you think they can make a run, maybe get second place in the table again here?
I think they can. You know, they have a solid little core. And, you know, I think for them coming out and this being their first game of the season, and to be up 1-0 over here in Tallahassee, they got to be happy with that, especially looking back at the past and how many goals are normally scored in this battle, the I-10 battle, if you will.
And, Johnny, that's a great segue, man. I really love what you got going on there. This is, of course, an 8-5-0 Cup game, as you did, the I-10 battle. So there's 3 teams here in the Gulf Coast Conference. Of course, we span from Jacksonville to New Orleans, I-10 being that baseline, right, of teams here. So we'll go all the way in between there, kind of that 9-hour radius, if you will. But there's 3 teams in the 850 area code. They've got 6 matchups between each other, and so they've organized what they call the 850 Cup. And so this is a game that they play. They play each other each home and away, 6 games total. And so Pensacola won the Cup last year, so this is another one of those. It's almost like a double rivalry, like a triad. It's a really fun competition that all the fans really get into. Good for the a little extra grit to it, as we saw here in the first half with all the fouls here. Something a little extra, but TSC's trying to bring this one back. Currently, the Roots lead the table Of course, they finished last in the standings last year. They're currently at 3 points. Tallahassee and Pensacola sitting at 0. Of course, PFC yet to play a game, but it adds a little fun, little rivalry to the mix, man. And we see a lot of crossover between Tallahassee and Pensacola.
I'll tell you, in these lower league types of situations and conferences, these cup games are so fun. And, you know, you see it a lot between 2 clubs in the lower league, but to add in 3, that makes it so much fun. And, you know, that's what it's all about. Bring this crowd. Let me tell you something, man. We pulled up here, and Tallahassee, they bring the fans out here, man. Pensacola, let me tell you something. My fans back in Pensacola sitting here watching this, and we're about to crank up. You got to get out and watch PFC.
There you go, man. We'll give you some time to plug there. Had to get with your boys, man. Get with the Pelican Army. They're here in the house. You guys got to hype that up.
Down there, but yeah, hey, your fan base is awesome. Love to see it.
So we're off and rolling here as we start this second half of action. Of course, TSC going right to left in the white and black. Their traditional away uniforms, as we were talking, Johnny. Of course, they elected to wear those. They're showing off the new threads, man. So they're trying to keep this thing rolling. They've got a great fit this year. And PFC, of course, going left to right in all navy blue. Owusu, he's going to dump this one down. There's the goal scorer, Ali, service over the top. Bosco Perry will watch this one tower wide and swing over on the other side there. And it'll go out for a TSC goal kick. So as we get in here, as we get organized, 46 minute of action here for TSC. Of course, trailing 1-0. And Johnny, I know you've got your Pensacola loyalties, but the brass at TSC has burdened us with a hometown radio broadcast. So we will be coming at it with a TSC edge to it, my man. So
100%.
Don't get me fired here.
I will not.
But we appreciate you coming aboard, and of course, a very important piece of the puzzle here this week. So we thank you for allowing us to make the broadcast possible. Here comes Ryan Daunt, little former Maclay man. He's Big Bend Player of the Year this year for Maclay, a senior. Johnny, we talked about it. He's going into military service. This is the last game he'll play this season. He's going into training and kind of getting that whole career jump-started. So the last time we'll see the youngster. He's on the U19 team as well, but, of course, so talented that he's coming down and playing here for the senior team as well. They have a throw-in here on the near side. Trotting this one up, it'll be Hickok here for PFC. And the referee says back that thing on up. We've seen a lot of these Pelicans creeping down the sideline here, Johnny. As you know, a soccer fan, man, you get those yards any way you can.
Yeah, you know, it's not uncommon to see that. You got the throw in. And
a little offensive spell. How about a nice little ground ball to Cousins' side? This one's going to spill out, and Lightborn's on top of it. Left-footed clearance, a slip on the turf. That is something you get used to here, Johnny. Of course, your boys out in Pensacola at Ashton Bronston used to playing on natural grass. So it is an adjustment. It is a different feel playing here on the field turf. And right around 8:15, 8:30, this is when the dew starts to settle in. We'll see it on all sports here. It starts to get especially slippery once the clocks turn past 8 o'clock here in the summer. Highly contested ball there. Will be last touched by PFC. Wants a little chat with the referee. Bosco Perry's going to come out in this one, and he'll dump it back to Austin Lee. Bringing it all the way out of the back, try to thread it through. Looking for Joey P, who's in an offensive role. Nice little takeaway. Here's Ryan Dawn. He's got Cousins Sai on the back post, and he skies this one on the switch. But a nice little offensive spell there for TSC, and signs of life here for the Battle Lions. A instant snap on the counterattack, but great play, and the youngster who was a provocateur of their second goal against Jacksonville here 2 weeks ago. Once again, kind of the nucleus of that pressure, and a great swarming defense here. Something that we didn't really see much. A lot of pressure on the ball here from the first half for TSC, but
that was nice. You bring that down a little bit, and you had that guy coming in from the back post.
Oh, yeah, he's a weapon, too. UWF guy right there, Cousins Sai. of course, local out there in Pensacola.
He's got some wheels.
He leads the team in goals. He's scored in each of our first 2 games. This one service over the top. McMillan looking for a Owusu. Trap with the left foot. He's got fantastic touch. This one's out of play, though, and it'll be a throw-in. So Zamora will take the throw-in just on the PFC side of the field, chested down to the Akron man, Fitzgerald. He'll drop it off to Chambers, the center back. He'll go all the way back to Perry inside the 18. Spill it back out to his right to Chambers. A little back and forth between the keeper. Try to get some passing avenue. Here's Austin Lee with a good check to it. Tries to square it off to Joey P., but a little too tall. PFC on the attack. Chambers trying to shield off the offense. Good step there by Lee. Spills it out wide to Zamora. Able to keep it in play. Good save. Daunt tries to flick it on. Last touch by PFC. Just past Coach Rico here in front of the TSC bench. Daunt looking to throw it in. Throws a screamer, looking for Blankenship. He's got Fitzgerald, or Fontenot on the far side. He brings it down with the right foot inside. Great positioning. Unfortunate tumble of the ball. It gets caught on the turf, and so it will be a shot on target, but McMillan up to the task. But a great offensive possessioning there, and once again, great build-up, and common theme, the youngster, Ryan Daunt, in the mix for TSC. There's a reason why they start the youngster out there here on the senior team. He's an aggressive playmaker. Big throw, looking for Cy inside the box. Initial ball won here by PFC. They'll look to cycle things around and chip it over the top. Good win there by Lee. Secondary ball won by PFC, and it looks like they're going to get TSC.
He went down hard.
They're going to get Bennett Mitchell on an undercut of the Pensacola player there. He'll get up after a little stinger, holding that shoulder, though. Speaking of shoulders, we were supposed to see one of the new TSC players, Mateo Arbeláez, here. He dislocated his shoulder Thursday in practice. They popped it back in. Oh. He was announced for the starting 18, but the doctor made him go out of the starting lineup, so he was pulled off the 18 here this morning, and they put in a replacement player, but an absolute warrior who we hope to wish the best hit in recovery. Owusu, who's been dangerous on the attack. Robbins Pierre does a nice job to shield the speedy wing player. And that's definitely a size mismatch there. Robbins Pierre, the big center back, against the speedy,
big boy.
Speedy, quick-footed Owusu.
Yes.
This one's passed through here to Fitzgerald. Zamora, a square ball. This gets taken away by PFC. Robbins Pierre back on top of it. Former goalkeeper, Johnny. But with a need at center back, they slid him in there. And Bosco Perry doing a solid job here in goal here for TSC.
He brings muscle to that back line for sure.
Absolutely. You got a conference with a lot of big front line players, especially against Jacksonville. A couple of 6'4" guys on that front line. He really came in handy. Had a fantastic game in the first match, of course, missing last week against the Roots, unable to make the road trip, but great to have Robbins Pierre back in the fold here. He's one of our new men for the 2022 season. Long ball looking for Daunt. Head ball won by PFC, spilled out of play. Depth-wise, it's about the 18. It'll be dropped back to Lee. He's on the fringe of the attacking third. Lee tries to square it off here to Daunt, taking away Owusu, and PFC looking to counter. A little give and go here to Hickok. Service going to go over the top. Look, the big switch. It's Lynch again, who had a really fantastic first half. He's able to get inside of Mitchell, but a nice little deflection. Perry's up to the task. Short ball here to Robbins Pierre. He'll calmly dribble out of the defending 18. Back to Lee and cycles it around. So it looks like Lee having a little bit more of a defensive stance here in the midfield this half, as he looks to be pitching in a little bit more defensively than he was. Typically TSC running a standard kind of 4-4-2 with Joey P., number 14, kind of acting as a defensive mid. But it looks like Lee is kind of going with a little flexing formation here, a little more defensive assistance. And it looks like they've bumped Daunt. It's almost got the look of a 3-4-3, which we saw them when they were in need of goals against the Roots. Did go 3 in the back. So you may be looking at a Robbins Pierre, Chambers-led 3 in the back here, as it looks like they've bumped Daunt up to the front line with Blankenship and Fontenot. Of course, fluidity, the name of the game here for TSC. Oh, and they call it back. advantage elected not to go through here. And for TSC fan, you got to feel a little burned by that one. And the captain, Fitzgerald, is hot, deservedly so. TSC with a clear attacking advantage. And the ball called back here. This, of course, is a hometown broadcast. But that was pretty cut and dry there, Johnny.
Oh, it was cut and dry. And I think that the ref was apologizing. I think he recognized, hey, they all did have the advantage there, and I should have let it go. And he should have.
48 yards from
But that's
goal.
okay.
Fitzgerald's service here outside on the fringe of what would be a lacrosse field width-wise. This one's going to be won by PFC. Mitchell, first times it tries to go back over the top here to Cy. Ball cleared out. A physical challenge. Looks like it'll be a TSC throw-in. Mitchell drop it back to Chambers. There's a PFC player down. They call it back when TSC had the ball. As PFC player holding his head. And they're calling for some medical attention. Of course, we have some fine medical personnel on the field here today from the Tallahassee Orthopedic Clinic. They've been partnered up with TSC since the inception of this thing and always have some fine medical staff here for us, Johnny, but never like to see a player go down regardless if he's in white, blue, or any color.
Any color, yeah, you don't want to see that. But, yeah, clear advantage there for, Tallahassee. And, gosh, I wish they would have let that play through. But TSC unlucky there, but they're going to take possession here after this. They attend to the Pensacola player. Andrew, thanks for having us on here. We were just stopping by, and you slapped some headphones on me, and
I'm always trying to rope people in, Johnny. Very few people take me up on the offer, Johnny. But of course, partnership at the high school level. So I know you know what you're talking about. Big soccer guy here, and glad to have you aboard, man. So a little Pensacola flair. So
little Pensacola flair, I will say 17, Jace Dotson. I coached him since, I had him when he was 4 years old. He played with my son, and so I've seen him for a long time. That's the only one I know off of Pensacola. So
local fan favorite, they call him. Golf Breeze, right? That's what the notes say.
He's a breezer, and that's my hometown. That's where I grew up. But I did go to Florida State.
There you go.
So I've got Tallahassee in my blood for sure.
There you go. So we resume action here, 57th minute. We saw some pretty serious stoppage time in the first half. We went about 4 minutes deep. Definitely anticipating some more. Ravens Pierre service over the top, looking for Blankenship. Defender shielding him off and spilling it out of play. Hickok on the defense there here for PFC. Blankenship will win a throw in. Quick throw. It's into Cousins' side. Oh, they want to hold it up. And they say PFC throw. And we will resume play here in the 58th minute.
Well, that's Tallahassee throw.
No doubt about that one, right? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Wait, I'm checking the referee. They agree. Okay, just making sure. This one spilled out. Look at Coach Rico, assistant coach. Of course, also coaches the high school boys at Florida High down in Southwood. He's on top of it. Owusu back on the ball. Great little stab there by Zamora, able to poke that one free. Bikes over the top of his head. Athletic play by your boy Dotson. And Rabbins Pierre will dump this one out of play. Owusu wants to go quickly here for PFC. There's the goal scorer, Ali, with a nice little bit of touch. Right foot here to Mikey Lightborn. And he'll square it off on around to Machado, who scored here against TSC last year. One of 4 goals. Johnny, we're talking about your boys from Pensacola, man. They swept through their last 5 games to end the regular season last year. 22 goals in those 5 games.
Wow.
North of 4 goals per game. An unreal strike force.
That's crazy.
Which really leapfrogged them to top or second in the table there. Oh, right in front. They say play on. In front of the TSC bench. Looked over the play. Blankenship will get pulled up this one as a foul called here as he slides to the turf. And so TSC an opportunity to collect. It's going to be the 7th foul on PFC here. So free kick will be about 45 yards from goal. Joey P is going to square it off. Chamber, Ravens-Pierre. See if they'll spill it wide or try to serve it over the top. They'll go cross field to Cousin Cy. Beautiful trap there with the right foot.
Well done.
Dumps it back to Lee. Cycle back, secondary service. 3 TSC men in the box. A little wide of the back post there and a little strong.
Little strong. He had a couple on the back post coming in, though.
Daunt, Joey P, Blankenship all in the area for TSC, but McMillan unchallenged there on the cross there for PFC. In the yellow, of course, the visitors from Pensacola going left to right here. They're in the all-navy blue. TSC, of course, wearing their away. Usually you'd see the Saturday Golds out here, Johnny, but showing off the away uniforms today. They're in the white and black.
I see a lot of the Saturday Golds out in the stands here, though.
Yeah, man, they got a gorgeous new uniform
I
package.
like those. I like those kids.
Ball gets through, looking for a Wusu in the 61st. Perry coming
well
off the
done.
line in a sprawling effort, about 6 yards out from the box, dead center. An absolute dangerous ball by Owusu, but Perry able to get on top of it.
Well done. That's one of those should I stay or should I go is the toughest decision for a keeper.
That'd be a good name for a song there.
You know what? You're right. We ought to write one.
There you go.
A verse on that.
We've got the recording software. Maybe after the game we can put something together. As Blankenship on the touch here, go back into the defending third, looking for an attack. Spills it out wide to Fontenot. On the fringe of the attacking third here for TSC on the north side of the field. Fontenot with the right foot tries to thread it through. Beautiful 1-2. Fitzgerald's going to set it up. Offside flag is up. And I believe that
looked good.
Who's on the far side over there? Is that Bennett Mitchell, I believe, number 7? And Bennett Mitchell, of course, showing a little more pace in this game. Of course, broke his foot versus the Florida Roots a couple games into the season last year. Was out all of the remaining of the season, Johnny.
Oh.
And was looking a little gassed after that first game. But it looks like he's into game shape now. And here in the 62nd minute, one of the more physical, gritty players here for TSC is looking fit and spry. Lightbourne back on the ball here for PFC, and they'll look to cycle it around with their back four. Touches there for Weber and others. Physical challenge, ball one, counterattack. Ryan Daunt. It's a 3-on-2 if TSC can run with it. PFC's able to hold him up, but the youngster looking to get back on his right foot. He gets chopped down in the box. Referee says too soft to call. And the youngster gets a shot there to the chest area.
Getting a little chippy.
And so a little extracurricular activity. Keep the hands down, boys. Referee's going to hold this one up. They were trying to go quickly with the throw-in, but you got a scuffle of 5 players from TSC, 6 players from PFC, including the goalkeeper, McMillan. McMillan all over Austin Lee there. And now Bosco Perry's talking. Both goalkeepers are in the 18-yard box. This is something you never see. Johnny Perry comes all the way up from his back line. He sees the big goalkeeper bullying one of the defensive player, and Perry's like, nah, not in my house, dude. Not at the Gene. Not at the Gene. Am I going to let you play those games?
All the way down. Look.
Woo! So if this doesn't add a little more flair to the 850 Cup, to this rivalry, dude, I don't know what will, but that's a little kerosene on the fire here, Johnny Mays.
And it just feels like something's going to fall for TSC here, I'll tell you. That's corner.
Corner kick. That's off of a PFC defender there. Referee, I don't know if they were watching. No indication. And
finally called
I think they concede corner just by popular demand. I don't think either referee is watching the ball, John.
It was a corner.
It's obviously off of the defensive player there by PFC, but I'm not convinced that either of them saw it.
I know. I think the head ref was looking away from the ball at the time.
It came in hot, hit off the PFC player, but regardless, they're going to let him take the corner kick. So the Akron man, Johnny Fitzgerald, he's going to have the corner kick here. It's going to be a right-footed in-swinger. 3 men on the goal line. Chambers on the back post. Set plays were huge for TSC last year. In desperate need of one. 64th minute, it's going. It gets through to Chambers, and it's going to skip out of play. It looks to be last touched here by PFC.
That's a great ball.
Quick throw in. Cousin Size in the middle. He tries to plant it down for Dawn. It doesn't go through, and PFC able to clear the line. But 2 or 3 fantastic chances there for TSC, but a good sequence here as we go 60-plus minutes into this ballgame as we're now in the 64th. Long ball for TSC. Secondary ball pursued by Fitzgerald. It's going to be tracked down by Mitchell. He's going to slice it through to Chambers. And this one will go back, won by PFC. So launching the counterattack, there's Ali. Physical challenge, and they look to play advantage, but now it'll get called back. And we may be looking at the 5th yellow card here for TSC. And I cannot see the numbers. I believe that's Lee, 22, who picks up the yellow. This is a gritty bunch. And I believe it's the 17th foul on TSC called here tonight in the 65th minute of this game. Of course, PFC player still on the ground. It's tough to see. I think it's either 3 Hickok or 7 Ali. I'm trying to scan the field to see if I can see. Okay, there's Hickok, number 3. It's not him. It looks like, I believe, a number 7.
It's tough to see.
Who is the goal scorer.
Yeah, I think it is Ali, because he's not up top there.
He's back at the 35-yard line of the football field on the defending half here for PFC.
Yeah, that's Ali. Looks like he's going to be all right. He's going to be able to continue. Got a limp on him, though.
So it looks like we're going to go, but this is once again going to add into the stoppage time. Who that benefits to be determined at this point, but
should be at least 4 at this point with as many stoppages as we've had.
Yeah, officially will go into the book as the 17th foul here on TSC, and the 5th yellow, as I believe it was Austin Lee who got tagged up with it.
PFC trying to sneak in behind TSC, and that defense had it covered.
Oh, good takeaway here for Fitzgerald. He gets chopped down.
Yep.
Oh, and a late shot.
This
a rocket
right
hits
there.
Cousin Cy in the face after the foul was called. The
here we
PFC
go. They're
player,
pushing. There's pushing.
You got to get the hands down. You can bump chest, and it's going to be a yellow here for the PFC players. And, man,
Perry's back in.
All in. Here comes Perry, the enforcer.
He's pulling away now.
Great play.
Yeah, smart play. Everybody keep their head.
And this is what you don't want. Now, you want the intensity, but you don't want things to get cheap. Cousin Cy got blasted in the face with the ball being cleared out after the play had stopped.
Really no need for that at all. I mean, you surely got a yellow for that.
So a total of 25 fouls called. Total of 7 yellow cards been dished out here tonight from both teams. Combined both teams, 7 yellow cards now. It was tough to see, but I believe it was Kambambala, number 6. It was whoever was over there on the left, but I believe it was him that chopped down Fitzgerald and got the card. So the captain, Fitzgerald's going to be on the ball. Talk about yellow cards. Fitzgerald's working on yellow right now. Looking for some service. Got a 3-man stack. About 15 yards from goal. Then you've also got a couple lurkers, Daunt and Fontenot. Could be the second wave or the front post run. Then you got Blankenship back here. Austin Lee coming in. So you've got 7 TSC attackers on the set play. And then you've got Bennett Mitchell here playing center field. This is a very big opportunity here for TSC. Like we said, a team that really lived on the set plays last year. And we know that Ackerman can give some good service. And here comes Joey P. To give a little guidance here to Johnny. He might have seen something from the back. Wants to give him a little tip. Got to make sure we stay on sides, boys. Service into the box. And that's won by Kamambala. Secondary ball coming through here. Zamora will get on this one on the fringe of the attacking third. Oh, Daunt has done well. It looked like he kept it in play, but a good little chest attempt there as they tried to serve it up to the front line as we go into the 69th minute of action here. This one's going to be stabbed free by Lee. Head on at Blankenship. Cousin Cy, Fontenot trying to get on the end of this one. Fontenot's onside if he can save it. The back shot on target.
Gosh.
Fitzgerald! Johnny Fitzgerald!
Ties it up.
Akron to the 8-5-0, and in the captain's first game, he's leveled it. Bosco Perry goes up into the fence. for the crowd, and we're back even. Fitzgerald in the 69th minute. You can hear the PA announcer. It's a TSC goal! And we're back to level pegging here from the Gene, Johnny.
Wow.
TSC needed that one. And how about the captain? The ship goes as the captain does, Johnny. And the captain says, let's get back to even.
Kept the pressure on. You felt like TSC was going to get a goal. And, you know, hey, following the ball and at right place, that was well done and earned, and they deserve that. You know, TSC deserving to get back in and tie it up here. This is going to be exciting going down to the end here.
There you go. There you go. I don't think one goal is going to get it done tonight for either team.
I see a couple more here in this half.
20 plus. The game's kind of getting whipped into a frenetic, Johnny. there are forensics out here. Everybody
I believe.
Everybody is sweating and has fingerprints. That exists. But frenetic, of course, with the physicality, with the energy that we're getting into, and this really opens things up, makes things interesting. TSC, this is getting – you look at the schedule, Johnny.
Handball.
That's a handball. As this one's going to be called back. Johnny, basically, for any teams in the Gulf Coast Conference, you project it out. When you look at a 2-year sample size for the NPSL, the Nationwide League, to get into the playoffs, to be a top 4 team in your table, you need to average about 1.4 points per game. And so to do that, you have to hit 17 points on the season, roughly, and that'll – most likely, you're looking at a 95% clip that if you hit 17 points in a 7-8 team league, like we see here, that you're making the playoffs. So for TSC, you project the schedule because you got Southern States, you got Jacksonville, you got New Orleans. This is essentially a must-win game. They need 3 because they're already through 2 games only with 1 point, Johnny, so you're averaging 0.5 per game. This will jump them up to that 1.3 mark, which is where they need to be realistically if this is going to be a playoff team here in the 2022 season. Service over the top for Perry. Blankenship, the closest man in the area. Owusu takes it off of Johnny's chest. Bennett Mitchell will blast it over the top and out of play. It'll be a PFC throw-in. Of course, Fitzgerald. Header. 69th minute. Here for TSC. Has us tied up at 1-1, so we've seen already one tie here at the Gene. It was the top team in the table in 2021, Jacksonville, that they tied 2-2 here earlier this season, and now last year's number 2 team, they're even with them again here, Johnny. So if you're looking for progress, you're talking about improvements. TSC hanging with the best of them using the 2021 metric.
I love it, and you know, you have analyzed that one under a microscope. I tell you, man, but that information right there, you know, for those watching at home that are listening, you know, they can carry that with them for the rest of the season, knowing where TSC needs to be into that playoff contention.
Because you've got a road trip. You talk about it, Johnny. We referenced it. They've got their first 6 games, 5 of them are at home. That's awesome, right? Except when you go to the back end, and you have 5 road games in your final 6 games. In an 8-day span, they play the top 3 teams from last year, or the 3 of the top 4 teams all on the road. They'll go out to New Orleans. They'll come back, go to Jacksonville in the middle of the week, and then that Saturday, they'll have to go back out to Mississippi.
Wow.
6 hours, 3 hours, 6 hours, each of those road trips. And those were your first, third, and fourth place teams last year. Both of the teams that met in the championship, and then the team that won the regular season last year.
Scheduling not kind to TSC on that front right there for that run. That is, I mean, that is a tough one.
Of course, your boys here for PFC with events and construction on the stadium. This game, the 3rd match day of the season, was played at Pensacola last year. But, of course, schedule conflicts, they had to switch it to Tallahassee.
Yeah, they have the NAIA lacrosse championships going on this weekend there.
Chambers wins this one. Blankenship tries to bike it over his head. Joey P will win the second ball. He's able to head it out here to the new substitute, Justin June. Nice ball down the line here to Joey P. And day 1, Joey P tries to run this one down, but it looks like Kambambala does a nice job of shielding off, and it'll be out for a PFC corner. But of course, the youngster, Ryan Daunt, Justin June coming in for him was the substitution that you saw for TSC. So we apologize for the late notice on that. But number 16, Justin June, into the game. Ryan Daunt, number 12, is done for the day. Of course, NPSL rules allowed 7 substitutions, Johnny. So in theory, all 18 players on the active roster could play. But if you're substituted out, you are done for the day unless you are substituted out of potential concussion protocol. If they are worried you have a concussion, they want to take you out, so they'll give you a free substitution. So as long as you fall under that. But it looks like Daunt, from what we've seen, Johnny, no head issues, so that would finish his day. But the youngster, fantastic effort in what we have been informed is his swan song here on the 2022 season, which is a shame. But we appreciate his service. He's going into the military. He will be pursuing his next step life pursuit there. So,
absolutely. Thank you for your service.
there you go. So admire that sacrifice here for Ryan Daunt. Of course, his brother Drew Daunt plays collegiate ball in Belmont Abbey. Just back with the team this year, so he's getting kind of gelling with the squad, and they're trying to work on him. A couple of reinforcements that we've been told came back this week. Heard David Monroe's back in the mix here. He's down at FAU. Popped in, and there'll be welcomed additions as they're always looking for some improved competition, as we were told by Coach. This was the best week of practice he's seen in franchise history because Coach is a grinder, Johnny. He's got a process mentality, and if these guys aren't going at practice, they will not be playing on Saturdays or Wednesdays. Of course, as we get to the back half of the season, Kamabala wins that one. Second ball will be won by Mitchell. Third ball by Lightbourne here for PFC. Looking to turn, I believe it's a new substitute, Hernandez, number 11, into the ball game here for PFC. As we see substitutes for both teams up and at 'em. A couple more here for TSC. Oh, look at the slide by B. Mitch. It's clean. Oh, no. They point to the spot. A brutal one. It's the third PK called against TSC this season. That is gutting for TSC. 77th minute. Perry is furious. Mitchell goes in. He gets ball, Johnny.
Got all ball.
That's baffling.
All due respect to the ref, got it wrong there.
And, Johnny, where do you currently reside?
I reside in Gulf Breeze, which is the Pensacola area.
There you go. And would you consider yourself of rooting interest of Pensacola?
I'm a PFC homer. I would be. I'm a Pensacola homer, that's for sure.
There you go. Just one of the people that are on the airwaves. I want this to be clear. So here we go. Bosco Perry, can you play hero? Lining up over top of the ball. It's going to be Isaac Machado, the dangerous lefty. Bosco Perry on the line. Absolutely huge moment. 77.
Got it!
Perry stands tall.
Justice there.
And look at this crowd, Johnny. They know what that means. This is a football fan base, but a soccer save. And Perry, it was a soft penalty. It wasn't quite in the corner, not quite a lot of pace. But Perry guessed right, and he finished the job, and we're still on level pegging.
Wow. You know, that's the right thing to happen, really.
Yeah.
You know.
That's my boy, Bosco.
Well done. And went the right way. And he smothered it.
Oh, yeah. That was a no-doubter. He smothered that one for sure. So how does TSC, can they capture this energy and channel it in a positive manner? Here on the offensive attack, Sai's going to spill it out. Ken Fitzgerald catch up to it. Just a little too much pace, and that'll roll out of play. But a fantastic save there for Bosco Perry. Round of applause
here.
The
crowd definitely appreciates it. You see that. These TSC fans, they are into it.
Absolutely. Shades of Grant Wallum. Shout out to the Wofford Wall. Of course, last year's goalkeeper. He's no longer with us here, Johnny, but a fantastic goalkeeper in his own right. Saved a penalty against New Orleans. Helped preserve that 0-0 tie. So take that as you may, but that was after the 75th minute as well. But Bosco Perry's got an early nominee for a potential man of the match here for TSC. And the energetic athletic man in pink. Keeping the dream alive here for TSC. This is a money grab, Johnny. They got to get some points. 1 is the minimum here for TSC. You got to think Coach Bruno, he's going to turn up the intensity and try to chase 3 here for the last 10-plus minutes as we jump into the 80th minute. And a little bit of firepower. Drew Daunt getting ready to come in. Of course, plays collegiate ball at Belmont Abbey. Of course, older brother of Ryan Daunt. Looks like he's going to come in here for, is that Austin Lee? As he gets a nice round of applause. So Drew Daunt, he played a lot of offense in high school. The need for TSC last year was defense. So Daunt played, before his injury, played a lot of right back. And it looks like they're going to have him in a midfield role as they want to free up Johnny, Sy, and Charles offensively here to try to get one in, try to bag a second. Because like we said, Johnny, I don't know if one's going to get the job done here today. June giving pursuit of that one, a meaty contest. Play on, whether it's advantage or otherwise. And, you know, an accumulation foul. Drew Daunt's going to get that one called on him, Johnny. I believe that's foul number 20 called on TSC here tonight. Of course, we got the live stats. Yep, 20th foul called on TSC this evening. 81st minute of action. It is a fiery 8-5-0 Cup matchup.
Sure is.
Blankenship giving no love to Lightbourne here on that free kick. No room to breathe. Long ball, Bennett Mitchell does well to track back and win that one. Owusu, he's dangerous. He's got the touch, trying to get to the end line, looking for service. That is a great ball, and TSC comes away with the recovery. Fitzgerald will spill it out wide. Blankenship, can he get on the end of it? And it's going to be last touch by PFC. I don't think the ref saw it, but it hit off the left foot of a defender. They say play on. Justin June off the quick throw right in front of the TSC bench. But off the left foot, you can watch the replay. Weber at me if you believe otherwise. But Weber, it looked like he got a left foot on that before he tumbled to the turf. PFC throw-in, says the referee. Fourth official going to get involved here, too. It looks like we have all 4 officials here today, Johnny, which is a good sign because that was not the case out in Panama City last week, excuse me.
Now they're, okay, so they've changed their mind. Now it's TSC throw in. So they stopped all that for nothing.
Absolutely, and it took away an advantageous possession once again here for TSC. Zamore says enough games, let's go. Oh, the referee draws it back. And the crowd is getting whipped into a frenzy. This has become a very hostile crowd here on the south side, Johnny.
Well, let's play. I mean, come on.
Of course, however you may be joining us, we appreciate it here. Yes, this one. We're trying to reflect the energy of the stadium, Johnny. Of course, the hometown TSC broadcast as we have another substitution. Christian Vanuck, the Flagler man, coming in here for Mike Zamore.
Good call. There's a little push there.
And Vanuck is going to play left back here for Zamore.
TSC with a free kick.
This
10
is what
yards
you
out
want.
of the box. 5 yards, 7 yards, I'd say. Those lines make it easier.
There you go. Just add 10 to the football line, Johnny. You're good to go.
Thanks.
So Joey P. and Fitzgerald will stand on top of this one. 25 yards from goal. Width-wise, it would be just outside of the box range. But this is dangerous territory. You see 4 guys on the backside, and watch the Joey P. leak out. You got a 3-man wall on the corner of the 18. Nobody's guarding Joey P. here near side. But Fitzgerald loves to serve. He's a dangerous whip of the ball. Looking for the back post.
Oh, just over. A little left, wasn't it? A little wide.
They're going to call it off. Looks like he got an early jump on the ball, did TSC, as the offside flag goes up for the assistant referee.
It's a great ball in, though.
He's got a nasty
that's
one.
a great ball in.
Of course, he's been getting a little more love here, a lot more playing time at Akron than he did last year. Those game minutes translating well. So he is, of course, the captain. They call him the Tallahassee Messi, Johnny. The touch, the vision. Oh, look at the Blankenship to Fontenot. Can he do it again? Oh, cousin Sy and McMillan with a big kick foot save to his left. And that reminds us of match day 1 when Sy had the one-on-one He decided to chip the keeper. This time tried to go around him, but McMillan up to the task. Dropped off to Johnny at the corner of the 18-yard box. Oh, nice little hesitation. Fitzgerald.
Wow.
Tall's service twist over top of the goal. And this one will be out for a PFC goal kick here. 85th minute of action, Johnny. But like we said, we're probably going to see minimum of 4-minute stoppage time. But who knows? Who knows what we'll get to?
Who knows? I mean, it should be at least 4.
Yeah. We shall see. That's all I'm going to say for now. I try to keep it professional, Johnny.
Yeah.
Once again, this is a hometown TSC radio broadcast, so thanks for joining us on 93.3 on terrestrial radio, here at Real Talk Radio, 93.3 here in the Big Bend area. Oh, this one gets through. PFC's going to try to chase it down here. 85th minute of action. Hernandez. There you go, Justin June. Nice little clean slide coming from him out on the perimeter. Full moon out in full display here at Gene Cox Stadium.
Oh, it is.
Towering over us. Potentially watching this game as well here, Johnny. 86th minute we'll get into. Under the bright lights here at Gene Cox Stadium. The mecca of semi-professional and high school athletics here in the Big Bend.
Beautiful stadium.
Long throw. This one's going to be won by TSC. Had to have it. Lightborn with a chop at it.
Yeah, this is a great facility here.
Got turfed up about 3-4 years ago, Johnny. Desperately needed, but they have been putting some money into it. They got the state championships here for the lower classifications of football over the last couple of years, so a lot of revenue being generated for this facility. Of course, the semi-professional team also doing so they're trying to dump it back in and really improve and continue to host high-profile events here. One of the lead sponsors, Visit Tallahassee, which you see on the front of the jerseys here for TSC, the lead sponsor, doing a lot to help that cause as well. But, of course, to your point, you see the LCS at midfield, Leon County Schools. Great facility. They do a lot. Professor Fearson, Mr. Terry Thompson, and the field staff here at Gene Cox Stadium do a fantastic job. Have us all looking bright, looking tight here for a Saturday night under the lights.
And moon.
And moon. Good-looking moon here.
It is.
Maybe that's why it's so wild, Johnny.
Yeah,
a little full moon. You know, we had Friday the 13th yesterday. A
I know.
little bit of eerie feel
Let's
to the
take
stadium.
us back. Saturday the 14th. Old movie right there.
Perry with a big long ball over the top, looking for Blankenship. First ball won here by PFC. June's going to let it go out and play wisely. Quick throw. The
Yeah, there
referee
you go.
lets him take this one. Fontenot,
good
centering
ball.
ball. Joey
Good.
P trying to beat the backside, and it's out of play. A dangerous ball by Fontenot. And it'll be out for a goal kick here for PFC. 87th minute.
Off the side netting there.
Woo. And that was tough. Trying to chase that one down with control. Really hard to get the left foot around that one and just unable. Half step more, Johnny. Would have put that one back in the 6-yard box into the danger zone.
Yeah.
But a threatening position here for TSC, generating chances, and that's what you want. That's what you want. No substitutes. Look like they're warming up here short term here for TSC. I think Bruno's got the people, the positions, and everything he wants. Rabbins Pierre's going to head it back to Perry safely, but pursuit there. Gordon for Pensacola was making that one worth it. Had to earn that one. That's going to be a TSC throw. Great play by the substitute, Alvarez, making sure to get on top of that ball. Or Adrian Perez, excuse me, here for TSC. So even the reserves getting in on the action here. We saw Perez against Jacksonville put in some good minutes. Chambers getting a little pressure here. He'll dump it back to Perry, and PFC wants to think about pressing this one. 3 players on the TSC side of the field. Long service here in the 89th minute. June, nice trap here. This one's going to get spilled back out to Fitzgerald, and he'll continue on of play as it looks like the play advantage here for PFC. As the Pelicans look like a bunch of flopping fish out here, Johnny, the way they're sprawling onto the field turf here at Gene Cox Stadium. Trying to get the long ball, looking for the speedy Owusu, but a little too heavy. Go out for a TSC goal kick.
TSC is defending that final third very well. PFC just can't get any pressure on right now here in the second half.
I want to see a little
TSC.
pace. We're 89th minute. We got to get this thing going. The center referee wants to talk to Christian Vanuk. Not sure what for. You know, if we didn't see anything going on, they try to draw this one back as we're now into the 90th minute. Of course, like you said, Johnny, we'll have at least 4, but realistically with the scuffles, we should realistically be looking at 6 to 7 minute stoppage time.
Agreed.
But traditionally conservative referee staff here in the NPSL. So we shall see. Over the top, looking for June. He looked to be onside, does not get through, so it doesn't really matter. Fitzgerald here, tracing back towards midfield on the sideline. Dumps it back to Robbins-Pierre. Square ball here to his fellow center back, Chambers. Looking for some service. Wants to go over the top, looking for Joey P. Justin June also in the area. Touched by Pensacola. It's inside the box. Touch to it. Does the late man on the scene streaming through the box there. It was Blankenship. Last touch by TSC. We got to go get those balls, man. The ball boy, he's got to be on top of that. Putting it to the goalkeeper. Of course, the goalkeeper's job, Johnny, he's going to try to waste as much time as possible. Can't allow him that opportunity here for TSC. Vanuk, a good head ball win. The Flagler man gets another touch to the ball. Of course, he was on that Lincoln High School team that Coach Bruno, the head coach here at TSC, also coaches Lincoln High School on the east side of town, Johnny. They made a run deep into the state playoffs. I believe they went to the championship, but Vanuk here, the left back, who's now at Flagler, was on that, I believe it was 2017. Don't quote me. Okay. Right around that area of that Lincoln team. That was a nasty team that they had there. Bennett Mitchell, I believe, was also for a couple years on that Lincoln squad. But back here in the present, 2022, May 14th. And Joey P. gets positioning there. Oh.
Yellow card.
And the center referee is going to dish this yellow out. So it looks like Hickok is going to get put in the book, and why not? Right?
Hey, just to add it to it. I mean, what are we at now? Are we double digits yet in yellow cards?
I think that's 8 total. We're showing 7, but I believe that's a total of 3 now in Pensacola. So 5 for TSC, 3 for Pensacola. And we're deep into stoppage time. This is the 92nd, well, 90 plus 2 minutes of stoppage time so far. I mean, we said at least 4, but realistically more along the lines of 7. Would seriously doubt they go 7. Chambers, some big service. Cousins side trying to get underneath of this one. Initial ball won by PFC for a throw. And Bennett Mitchell does have a long throw in the bag. We'll see if he tries to break it out here, keep it short. He'll drop it back off to Fitzgerald. Nice. Watch for the service from Fitzgerald. This one's going to go centering ball, looking for June. Deflection. McMillan off the line. And he does a good job of keeping it not only in play, which would have been a TSC corner, but also in the box.
Almost
very nearly a handball. True Daunt.
Yeah,
he takes down Morrissey there, and nothing you can say about that one. It'll be a free kick, 55 yards from goal here. PFC wants to go fast. Lateborn, head up, service. Got some options here for PFC in the box. Drew Daunt, nice pursuit there. Of course, his first game back.
All boys there, ready to go.
College boy, that's what we like here.
Yep.
3 minutes deep into stoppage time, as you can see. Over into the corner, trying to play a little keep away. Looked like it's off of the offender there. But Gordon doing a nice job of playing some corner ball there. This will be a PFC throw. About 6 yards out from the goal line. Big throw for PFC. Gets about the corner of the 6-yard box. Oh, look at this scenario. 2-on-3. Fontenot. And this one's going to be a good step there defensively. Weber had to come out and cut that one off. Otherwise, you're looking at a 2-on-3 break with a dangerous Fontenot-Blankenship connection. It burned Scorch Jacksonville and Roots twice each. Vanuk wants to get things going. Throws it back to Perry, the keeper. Inside his own box, gives it to center back Chambers. He'll take it out of the defending third. Good service on the far side to Benny Mitchell. Good little cut back here for the former Lincoln player. This one's going to be taken away. Dangerous opportunity. PFC, an opportunity to counter here. Gordon trying to get on his horse. Slide from Bennett Mitchell. They say no penalty kick on this one, and it'll be out for a PFC throw. Throw back here about 30 yards from frame. Lightborn, watch the shot, right footer. Tough bounce, but Perry up to the task. Here, we're now on the brink of bouncing into the 5th minute of stoppage time now. Referee, no look at the watch, so we're going to run with this one for a little bit. Perry puts it on the ground. Service coming from the keeper there. Lightborn will win the initial one. Looking to turn. Need to have some pressure on this one. This one's taken away. Drew Daunt now on the counterattack. Blankenship. He's on the rock. All the way to the perimeter to Justin June. Poke free. Hickok punches it out of bounds for TFC. Quick throw to Cousins Sai. He's on the corner of the 18. A little hesitation. He's being double-teamed. They obviously read the scouting report. June will get this one out of the air. He'll drop it back to Vanuk, who's got a nice left foot. Pressure coming on Drew Daunt, who's got the ball now. And it'll be, they say, kicked out here, and they'll say foul on PFC. So a fantastic Hickok, who's already working on yellow, throws it all the way back to Perry.
Opportunity here.
Huge opportunity. We're now on the brink of being in the 6th minute of stoppage time, and we are now 6 minutes of stoppage time. The 11th foul called on Pensacola. 33 total fouls.
Wow.
In this match, Johnny. So they're going to put the ball.
Derby worthy.
Put the ball 29 yards from goal, width-wise about the 18-yard box. Fitzgerald looking to serve here. The righty, this will be an in-swinger. June, Vanuk, Chambers, Robbins-Pierre, Fontenot, all in the mix. Blankenship, oh, it's looking for Blankenship. It gets Chambers. It falls in the box and cleared out. Johnny will look to bring it down, and he'll have to cycle it back to Perry, desperation-wise, and that is all she wrote here. We go 6 minutes deep of stoppage time. And that's all we got. Level pegging. So Tallahassee, 2 home games, 2 ties here in the 2022 season. So through 3 matches, currently sitting on 2 points. Pensacola, their first match, point on the road. Good for them. The old adage, Johnny, win at home, tie on the road. So check the box here for PFC. Does no favors here to our boys from TSC. A 1-1 tie here tonight. A lead 19th minute for PFC. Fitzgerald the 69th minute here for TSC. Gets us to that 1-1 scoreline. Johnny, any thoughts on the action here tonight?
Well, I think we're in store for a great season of soccer.
In the Gulf Coast Conference, you think so?
In the Gulf Coast Conference, yes, absolutely. And look, I think TSC's unlucky to get 3 here. I'm sure they're upset about that, but you know what? I see a lot of upside on this, and they were putting the pressure on that PFC defense and just unlucky not to get that go-ahead goal.
Absolutely. So once again, tying PFC, the first time that they played was last year, of course, out in Pensacola at Ashton Bronson. But that was a 3-3 tie, an absolutely insane game out there. TSC was down 3-1, and in the last 15 minutes scored 2 goals, one coming in stoppage time to level it out 3-3. Of course, like we said, PFC would clinch the A50 Cup with the final game, and they thrashed TSC 4-2 here at the final game. So TSC right where they were last season, Johnny. 2 points through 3 games. They totaled 13 points last year with a 3-7-4 mark. Was not good enough for the playoffs. Ratcheted them at 7th in the table. And over on the other side, Pensacola, of course, like we said, finishing 2nd last year. So TSC, 2 of their home games, 2 ties, which is good and bad, right? You played the top 2 teams from last year, tied them both. But at the same time, you've got a gauntlet of a schedule, and you got to win some of these home games. So it's a little sweet, little sour here for TSC.
Yeah, like you said, that old adage, 3 at home, 1 on the road is what you shoot for, and then you're above that 1.5 mark that you were talking about earlier. But the good thing here, Jupe, is we're early in the season. So there's time to make that up, you know. The lads put it together and, you know, go out and get points where the other team's thinking that they're gonna get those points. You know, you go steal some points away, that's going to go a long way for you.
Name of the game, absolutely. So upcoming schedule, TSC will host Southern States next week. So you think it gets a little easier? That's wrong. They ended up winning the conference championship, ended up getting to I believe, the Elite Eight nationally of the MPSL, the over 100 teams in the tournament there. They actually qualified for the U.S. Open Cup.
Awesome.
Got through to the second round, fell to the Birmingham Legion in the second round, 3-1 over this summer. So they're one of the highest profile teams in this conference, too. There's no easy games anymore. The conference has been trimmed down to 7. The competition is way up from 2021. I think we've seen that. And the name of the game here is you got to get enough points, and you still have to chase down that 17, Johnny. And when you're averaging 0.67 points per game, you're not going to get to 17 like that. So TSC, I think, in a vacuum, right, Johnny? You look at this game, it's a 1-1 game. You're conceding a penalty kick after the 75th minute. You come up with a big save. So I think it's a win in that regard. But at home versus Pensacola team, their first game of the season, you'd like to see 3 points. So a little bit of a mixed bag here, but like you said, positivity here for TSC. Long season. They have the writings on the wall, right? The old adage, you know, you play the games to play the games, right? There's a reason why you play the game. So on paper, all these teams look good, but they got to go out and earn it. And it's a merit-based system, Johnny.
Merit-based system, and, you know, hey, you're exactly right. But you're right with the level of competition and what we're seeing. And by seeing that, you know, nobody likes to see, you know, leagues trimmed down. But that does increase the level of competition here. And what that does in turn is that gets more supporters out, gets more community involved. These lower league teams, it's so important to get the community involvement here. And I absolutely love what Tallahassee SC has going with the community. It's fantastic.
There you go. So we're coming up on 9 o'clock here Eastern time. So we're going to go ahead and say sayonara to our radio audience. So thank you for coming aboard here locally to Tally SC Live. Saturdays under the lights here. Real Talk Radio 93.3. New partners here in the 2022 season. So thank you to John and all the gang out there at Real Talk for having us come aboard here this season, here for TSC. But big game coming up next week. And do you know off the top of your head who Pensacola's playing, Johnny? Do they have the Roots at home? I feel like there's a midweek Panama City Roots game in the fold.
You could be right. You know, this is their first game of the season, so they're a couple behind. They got a couple games in hand on some teams here. But no, I don't know, Jupe. So obviously I'm not that much of a homer for PFC.
I'm almost positive it's a midweek game against the Roots. I'll try to bring up the schedule here quickly without belaboring the loading process of what it takes to get their schedule, excuse me. But that seems to be ringing in the back of my head that they are destined for a date with the Roots, which would be another A50 game. So we go back to the A50 Cup, right, which is we talked about the A50 area teams coming aboard here. So you see the crown on Pensacola. They have not won. That's based on last year, of course, the 2021 champs. But you sit at the top of the table. You have Florida Roots in the first position, and then you have Pensacola, who would be second because they've only played one game, so 1 point per game. And then TSC sitting, I guess you would say, third because also 1 point, but averaging 0.5 points per game in that because the Gulf Coast Conference is a points per game league, Johnny. So it came up last year because we had COVID cancellations and other stuff going on. So if games get canceled, they can't make them up. They will go back to points per game, not raw points.
Gotcha.
So always something to watch for.
That's an important thing to know, and I think that's the right way to do it, you know. I mean, we've seen how we can be disrupted in sports sometimes. Be ready to have those plans out. Keep an eye on that. I see things going up for TSC. I know that you guys are a little down about only taking one, but, you know, look, you go down 1-0 at home into the half, and then you come back in the second half and battle back. And really could have gone out of here with 0 points, except Perry with a beautiful PK save. And the defense, I tell you, the defense controlled that back third the entire second half. So a lot of positive things on the TSC side here that I'm seeing.
Absolutely. And so schedule clarification, here we go. They will be hosting the Roots, PFC, back at the Ashton Bronson Stadium this Wednesday, the 18th. It'll be what I'm being told is a 7:30, that's going to be local time, Central kickoff here. So, of course, that's going to be 8:30 for us. So they've got a 2-fixture week next week, Johnny. No rest for the visitors. You have the Wednesday home game versus the Roots, and then you have the top dog. They will head over on the road to Jacksonville on the 21st, which is a week from today. So that's
it's a boring drive too.
Not a fan. Not a fan of that I-10
way
corridor.
Too many times.
There you go. There you go. So, of course, they're playing the Roots, who much improved team, also A50 Cup game. So we'll start to see who the top dog is in the A50 Cup, Johnny. But we could belabor the point in situations and prognosticate, predict, talk about future matchups. Like we said, Wednesday, they're going to host the Roots. TSC, of course, the local boys. Next game will host Southern States, of course, the conference champions from a season ago. Any closing thoughts here, Johnny?
I have, I want to say thank you for having us again. I appreciate it. This is my first time. I want to go back to this, to Gene Cox Stadium. It's fantastic. It's beautiful. It's a great facility, and I'll be back soon. That's for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So we'll wrap it all up here. Once again, thank you for joining us, however you may have done so. Here, of course, for Johnny Mays, Andrew Jupe here, TSC Live. Thank you to our new radio partners, 93.3 Real Talk Radio here terrestrially. And then, of course, online at tlhsoccer.com or Tallahassee Soccer Club live on YouTube. Point taken here from the match. So 2 on the season. So Tallahassee 0-1-2 so far in the Young 2022 campaign. Big matchup on Saturday. Come right on back here to tlhsoccer.com. We'll have it all again live streaming like we did today here on the official website of Tally SC, tlhsoccerclub.com. Andrew Jupe, Johnny Mays, thanks for joining us. Have a great rest of your weekend.